Hey guys, it's Nick from Pick'em MMA and I'm back with another UFC Fight Night predictions video. On the last card guys, Dern versus Hill, we went 10-2 and the only two losses that we had were it was Vanessa Demopoulos who was underdog, and the other underdog that I picked was Michael Johnson, who was winning the fight until he got caught by that crazy right hand, I think it was, from Ferreira, and just got absolutely folded in half. I mean, I'm kind of sad for Michael Johnson because he was doing really good in that fight. He was winning that fight easily, outstriking Ferreira the whole time. And then he just got caught by that crazy hook, just got slept and put into that grave. I mean, that was a crazy knockout. I just, it's sad to see even fighters get knocked out like that. I really hope he can come back from that and do better next time. Anyways, guys, let's talk about the UFC Fight Night card. It is Kai Kara France versus Amir Albazi, and this fight card is in 2 weeks from now, on July 3rd, 2023. It's gonna start at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Let's talk about the first fight on the card, guys. The first fight on the card we have is the prelim. The first prelim on the fight card is Maxime Gershon versus Felipe Lins, guys. So this fight I'm gonna be going with the Maxime Gershon. I do think Felipe Lins can make this fight very competitive. Therefore, the odds do reflect that. But the reason that Maxime Gershon is the favorite in this fight is because he's got really good wrestling and really good cardio also, and he can definitely push the pace over Felipe Lins and then get a win by decision here. He got a win over William Knight by decision in his last fight, by decision to Jacoby, and then got a win over Gaji Murad. That's a hard name to pronounce. Lost to Marcin Tybura, who's a heavyweight. This fight is at a light heavyweight, so I do think he's not gonna be out muscled here. So that's why I'm going with the favorite here, Maxime Gershon. Let's talk about the next fight now, guys. The next fight on the card is Luan Lacerda versus Damon Blackshear. Guys, Luan Lacerda is a slight favorite in this fight so far. He is coming off a loss to Cody Stamann by decision in his last fight. Before that, he got a win over back in LFA. He's got two wins in LFA by submission. But I do think he's not going to be able to submit Damon Blackshear, who is coming off a loss to Farid Basharat, who we just found out who's really good prospect at 135. So I'm not gonna hold that loss against him too much. I am gonna be going with the underdog Damon Blackshear here. I do think he's gonna be able to outstrike Luan Lacerda, and he's gonna be able to defend those takedowns and then get the win here by decision. Let's move to the next fight now. The next fight on the prelims is Jinhu Frey versus Elise Reed. Guys, personally, I don't think I'm gonna be betting on this fight. This is a near even fight. The odds do reflect that, and I am gonna be taking Elise Reed here. She is a younger fighter by almost by like 8 years. Yeah. So Jinyu Frey is 38 years old, coming off 2 losses in a row. One to Vanessa Demopoulos, and then the other one by knockout to Pauliana Vienna, where she got knocked out cold 6 months ago. So she did take 6 months, which is good to see after a fighter gets knocked out like that. But Elise Reed got submitted by Loma Lokboom 3 months ago, and before that she got a win over Melissa Martinez, lost to Sam Hughes, got a win over Corey McKenna, lost to Cesara Eubanks. I mean, so she gets a win and then loses. So I do think Elise Reed's gonna be able to get this win here. And she is a younger fighter here, so he's going to be able to push the pace over Jinyu Frey, outstriker. And being the younger fighter, I do think it's going to help her here. I personally wouldn't put her in any parlays, but I do think maybe a small bet on Elise Reed is not too bad here. Let's move to the next fight on the prelims, which is Daniel Willie Cat Santos versus Johnny Munoz Jr. Guys, this fight is this is the second time they made this fight, because I think this fight was cancelled. I forgot why it was cancelled. Like 2 weeks ago, I think it was. And I'm still gonna be going with Daniel Willie Cat Santos here. I do think he's gonna be able to push the pace, and then like just put the pressure on Munoz. And Daniel is a more powerful striker, and he's got really good jiu-jitsu also. He does train at Sute Box Diego Lima, so he trains with Charles Oliveira and all those guys over there. And I'm not gonna change my pick here. I'm still gonna go with Daniel Willie Cat Santos, but the bookies did open him up at quite a big -200, I guess. I mean, I think they've seen how many people hammered the line last time when they opened him up at slight favorite. This time they opened him up at like 200, I think, -200. So the pick still is Daniel Willie Cat Santos by knockout. I do think he's going to be able to get the knockout under 2.5 rounds. Let's go to the next fight on the prelims, which is Andrei Arlovsky versus Dontel Mays. Guys, this is a near even fight, and I am gonna go with the older Andrei Arlovsky. He does have better striking than Dontel Mays. I'm just not impressed by Dontel Mays. I mean, he's coming off a loss to Augustus Sakai, who's not that impressive also. He is a younger fighter here by almost 13 years, but I still think Andrei Arlovsky still has enough in the tank, and he's pretty well rounded. I'm just not impressed by Dontel Mays. That's why I'm gonna go with the Andrei Arlovsky. I am gonna be putting a small, maybe a quarter unit on Andrei Arlovsky here. I'm gonna go with Andrei Arlovsky by decision. Let's go to the next fight on the prelims, which is John Castaneda versus Mateus Mendoza, guys. And John Castaneda is coming off a loss to Daniel Willie Cat Santos, in which he put Willie Cat down a couple times in that fight, had kicked him, dropped him a couple times, but Sexy Maxi just wasn't able to get the finish there. We've seen how tough Santos is, and he came back and just knocked him down with that knee. And then John Castaneda was also pretty gassed after that in the second round, I think it was, and it just didn't have enough to come back, or just his durability just wasn't there. That's why I'm gonna go with the underdog here, Mateus Mendoza. He is coming off a loss in his UFC debut against Javid Basrad, who's the brother of Javid Basrad. Wow, I thought it was Farid Basrad. So he did lose to Javid Basrad. I mean, we've seen how good Javid Basrad is. So that's why I think he's gonna be able to bounce back here and get the win over Sexy Mexi. I will say that Sexy Mexi is very dangerous in the first round, so Mendoza does have to be careful. And he is training out of the same gym, Sute Box Diego Lima, so I do think they're gonna have a very good game plan, and they know what John Castaneda can do, and they're gonna have a really good game plan for Mendoza here, and he's gonna be able to get this win over John Castaneda. I do think this probably maybe a late stop is. Just take money line. I'm gonna go with the Mateus Mendoza money line, guys. Let's go to the next fight on the prelims, which is Elizio Gillespie versus Abubakar Nurmagomedov. Wow, guys, Abubakar Nurmagomedov is coming off 2 wins. One over Jared Gooden by decision, and the other one over Gaji Omar Gajiev 6 months ago by unanimous decision. We all know how good Gaji Omar Gajiev is, but Abubakar was able to control him enough in that round, take him down a couple times, land some strikes, and then get that win over Gaji Omar Gajiev. And him being underdog here, I do think this line's gonna be near even soon. Elise Zaleski is coming off a win over Benoit Saint-Denis by unanimous decision. Before that, he lost to Muslim Salikov by split decision. Zaleski is the older fighter here at 36 years and a half, and I think Abubakar is going to be able to control him enough here to edge out the decision here. So that's why I'm going to go with Abubakar Nurmagomedov. Let's go to the next fight on the main card, which is Guram Kutateladze versus Jamie Mullarkey, guys. I'm going to go with the big, moderate favorite here, Guram. I do think his pressure is going to be too much for Jamie Mullarkey. And Jamie Mullarkey just hasn't fared well against good grapplers, even in the past. Jamie Mullarkey does have 4 wins in his last 5 fights. His only last 2 was to Jalen Turner by knockout. And Michael Johnson split decision win. I thought Michael Johnson did enough to win that fight, but the judges didn't agree with me. Anyways, he did beat Francisco Parado by decision. But I think his pressure and his wrestling and his pace is going to be too much. I'm going to go with Guram Kutateladze by ground and pound. Ground and pound, maybe late ground and pound TKO. Let's go to the next fight on the main card. We have Corrine Silva versus Caitlin Souza. I'm gonna go with Corrine Silva, guys. She's on the run right now. Corrine Silva is on like a 6-5 win streak right now. She's got wins over Poliana Boleto by submission. Submitted Kuhi Yan at the Contender Series. Before that, she's also coming off a bunch of submission wins. She's on the run right now, and Caitlin Souza doesn't have any wins in the UFC. She does have wins in Invicta FC. 2 wins in Invicta, but I do think this fight's gonna be very hard for her. That's why I'm gonna go with Corrine Silva. I do think this line's gonna move towards Corrine Silva. I do have a 1 unit bet on Corrine Silva already at -180. So I do think the line's gonna be moving pretty soon. So if you guys do want to bet on this fight, take Corrine Silva money line. I do think she's gonna be able to finish Caitlin by submission, but I think the best bet here is money line. Corrine Silva money line. Let's go to the next fight on the main card, which is Tim Elliott versus Victor Altamirano. Victor Altamirano. Guys, I am taking Tim Elliott here. He's a slight favorite. He is coming off a win over Tagir Ulanbekov. Before that, he got a loss to Mateus Nicolau. So Tim Elliott has faced the best fighters at lightweight, while Victor has just coming into the UFC and he's got 2 wins, one over Daniel Lacerda by knockout, ground and pound, and then got a win over Vinicius Salvador by decision. The odds are very close here. I thought Tim Elliott would have been a bigger favorite here, but I am gonna take bet on Tim Elliott here. He's the veteran here. He has so many fights in the UFC. He's got so many fights. He's been in the UFC forever. Yeah, he is 7-10 in the UFC, but he's faced the best fighters in the UFC. That's why I think all that experience will definitely help him here. I know he's 36 years old, but Victor, he's still young, super young. I mean, he's 32 years old, but his experience just isn't there yet. That's why I think Tim Elliott's going to be able to win here by decision. Let's go to the next fight on the main card, which is Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon, guys. Jared Gordon came back so fast after that crazy ground and pound by Robbie Green. It was an accidental clash of heads, so it was a no contest. But it was only not even a month ago. By fight time, it's gonna be like a month and a week, maybe a month and 2 weeks. So I don't know how Jared Gordon's gonna look after that ground and pound. I mean, he was out in that fight after Green ground and pounded him. And Jim Miller is a veteran, but he's also 39 years old. I don't think I'm gonna be betting on this fight. I might take the decision, no action on Jared Gordon, but so I think I don't see Jared Gordon finishing Jim Miller here. Jim Miller is very tough. He lost to Alexander Hernandez by decision. Then got a win over Donald Cerrone. Got a win over Nicolas Mota by knockout. I mean, he knocked him out on the feet in that fight. I got a win over Eric Gonzalez. Personally, I don't think I'm going to be betting too much money on this fight. I might put a half a unit on Jared Gordon decision, no action when the props drop. But I'm definitely not going to be betting money line on Jared Gordon at minus 250 after what happened in his last fight. Even though it wasn't his fault, but still. Let's go to the next fight, the co-main event of the evening. We have Alex Caceres versus Daniel Pineda. Guys, I am taking Alex Caceres, the kickboxer, who's also got very good jiu-jitsu. Alex Caceres has turned he's turned it around. His only loss in the last 4 UFC fights is to Sadiq Yusuf, and he's been like finishing fighters in his last 5 fights. In the UFC, he's got 4 wins by knockout, 7 wins by submission, and 9 wins by decision. He's 15-11 in the UFC, so most of his record is in the UFC. That's why you probably wonder why his record is 20-13. It's because he hasn't fought those low-level fighters like other fighters who had some very clean records. And he lost to Pat Sabatini in grappling, I guess. I mean, it's good to see that he's still grappling and taking part in this competition. That's really good to see. Sadiq Yusuf. So the only loss was to Sadiq Yusuf by decision. I do think he's gonna knock Daniel Pineda out cold in this fight. Daniel Pineda has a very good jiu-jitsu, but if he's not able to get Alcaceres' back, I mean, Kron Gracie's jiu-jitsu is high level, so that's like Kron Gracie submitted Alcaceres like a couple years back, like 5 years back it was, I think. It was like 2019 back when he got submitted. I don't see Daniel Pineda submitting him here. Alcaceres kickboxing is gonna be too much for Pineda, and he's gonna knock him out maybe in the second round, maybe even in the first round. I'm gonna take Alcaceres by knockout under 2.5 rounds. Even the money line bet isn't too bad. It's minus 175. So if you want to be safe, just take Caceres money line. Let's go to the main event of the evening, where we have Kai Kara France versus Amir Albazi, guys. I mean, Kai Kara France is only 30 years old. Wow. And Kai Kara France is coming off a loss to Brandon Moreno, the champion, where he was touching Brandon Moreno up until Moreno threw that crazy liver kick. Just Kai Kara France just couldn't continue after that. If you ever taken a liver kick, you would know how painful it is. I personally have never taken a liver kick, and I don't ever want to take one. So and Kai Kara France is the much better striker here, more powerful striker. His only losses in his last 5 fights are to Brandon Moreno and to Brandon Royval, who are the top of the food chain. He's got 11 wins by knockout, 3 wins by submission, and 10 wins by decision. He is 7-3 in the UFC. He's only fought killers. I mean, he's fought Brandon Moreno, Askarov, whose wrestling is top notch. Yeah. I mean, Askarov was undefeated at the time when he fought Kai France. And Kai was able to defend all the takedowns and touch Askarov on the feet and take the decision win. Yeah. So then before that, he lost to Brandon Royval, who's going to be fighting for the title next. Who's also on a crazy run right now. Yeah, Royval is on a 3-5 win streak right now. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking Kai France, guys. I still am thinking if I should take Amir Albazi because his wrestling is very good, but I just don't see him. This is a five round fight. I just don't see him controlling Kai France for that long. I mean, Amir does have pretty good kickboxing, but he just hasn't been tested enough in the UFC for my liking. He's 4-0 in the UFC. Got a win over Alexander Costa, where he knocked him out. Submitted Francisco Figueiredo, the lesser brother of the Figueiredo. Got a win over Jalgaz Jumagulov, who's on like a 4-5 losing streak right now. Malcolm Grodin. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is the only fight he's gonna be really tested in. That's why I'm gonna be taking Kai France. Even the people in Tapology are split. Half people are taking Kai France, then half of the people are taking Amir Albazi. I'm just not impressed by Amir Albazi. I mean, he has done everything he said he was gonna do. He's 4-0 in the UFC, undefeated. But I think Kai France is gonna be able to defend those takedowns, and I don't know how Amir Albazi is gonna look after he's not able to take France down over. And I mean, Amir Albazi does have 1.5 inch reach advantage. Yeah, the odds, Kai France is the underdog right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kai France, guys. Please like and subscribe, guys. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. I really appreciate you liking the video and dropping a comment, or for the algorithm, please drop a subscription. We were 10-2 on the last fight card, UFC Fight Night, Darren versus Hill. I'm hoping to go undefeated this card, and stay in touch. I'm gonna be keep dropping videos, keep dropping parlays. And the safety parlay last time hit, I had Devin Haney, and I had Anthony Hernandez, and I also had Natalia Silva in a parlay, which cashed, so that's really good to see. I'm going to be dropping some parlays and dropping some over and under bets, dropping some long shot parlays also. So please subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment below who you're going to be going with in the main event of this fight card. There's still a long time to go. I'm going to be keep dropping content. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a good week. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.